Has it ever happened to you that you're talking to a girl, सब कुछ बहुत बढ़िया जा रहा है, you're talking to her, conversation is going good, but जब तुमने अपना phone निकाला उसका number लेने के लिए, she says she has a boyfriend, and you're like, इतनी देर हमने बात करी है, the conversation is so good, I don't know why she's saying she has a boyfriend, and even if she has a boyfriend, I can clearly see the attraction, but why is she saying that she has a boyfriend? Well, let's exchange information, let's figure it out. What do you think?
I have a boyfriend now.
I have a boyfriend too, and a dog. I thought you were talking about the shit that doesn't matter. I would love to meet you again if that's possible.
I have a boyfriend already.
I have a boyfriend too. And a duck. I have a boyfriend and a duck. I thought we were talking about shit that doesn't matter. Now you might get stuck in this kind of situation. And if you've been stuck in this kind of a situation, इस वीडियो में मैं complete breakdown करूंगा what to do when a girl says that she has a boyfriend. Why would a girl tell you that she has a boyfriend? There can be multiple reasons for that. And based on the reasons, you can decide what your response should be when she says that she has a boyfriend. और एक चीज मैं इस वीडियो के थ्रू आपको प्रॉमिस करना चाहता हूँ. This is going to be the most in-depth, the most in-detail video on what to do when she says she has a boyfriend all over the internet. If you see any other video explaining the concept better than this video, add a link to the comment section because I would like to see who can explain it better. My name is Arunav and I've been a dating coach for the past decade, helping men like yourself get into a fulfilling relationship that you deserve. So if you're single, consider clicking the subscribe button. Hello bro, today we're going to talk about what to do when she says she has a boyfriend. Now तुम्हारे साथ कभी ऐसा हुआ होगा that you're talking to a girl, everything seems to be going good, but suddenly she says that she has a boyfriend. So today we're going to talk about why would a girl do this? Why would a girl tell you that she has a boyfriend? The only reasons that a girl will ever tell you that she has a boyfriend, how to identify the real reason, and because they're not able to identify the real reason, they're not able to take the correct action to get her attracted. So we're also going to discuss the plan of action, exactly what you need to do when a girl says that she has a boyfriend. Apart from that, हम 3 cases discuss करेंगे जब तुम्हारे साथ ऐसा हो सकता है when a girl would tell you she has a boyfriend, and how do you actually respond to that to get the best possible outcome, which is actually take the conversation to a romantic direction. Hello bro, I have an important announcement for you. I'm coming to Delhi on 8th February and conducting a double your dating seminar. The objective of this seminar is quite simple. It's to help you improve in your dating life and double your dating life, and also help you learn about advanced social skills. So if you're a person who doesn't have a social circle, if you're a working professional or an entrepreneur who does not have time to focus on your dating life, I'm going to be sharing with you the Social Edge dating system, which just requires 30 minutes so that you can date women out of your league. And the best part, you can apply right now for free. All you need to do is click the pinned comment, sign up with your full name, your email address, and your phone number, and my team is going to reach out to you if you win your free slot. We only have 20 free slots remaining, so hurry up. So this is going to be the most in-depth and in-detail video on the internet about what to do when she says she has a boyfriend. And after watching this, whenever you encounter this problem, you would never really have to watch another video again. So let's get started. Now, first thing, why would a girl tell you that she has a boyfriend? सबसे पहली चीज, maybe she's politely rejecting you, because this is a very polite way of telling that I'm not interested. So generally when a girl says that she has a boyfriend, तुम्हें calibrate करना पड़ेगा, does she actually have a boyfriend or are you coming out too strong? There can be multiple reasons for this. She has no sexual interest towards you, you're coming out too strong, she's not comfortable, or maybe she's testing you. She's testing whether you actually have desire to get to know the girl or you're just doing some sort of a task. She's testing you. She's testing whether you're that confident guy you're projecting to be, or are you going to persist, or are you going to leave the interaction then and there? Because women want a guy who desires, not a guy who just wants to get laid. So that's one of the reasons. Maybe she's testing you. Now I've created a whole separate video on test. If you want to watch it, I'll add a link over here. It's going to clear everything about shit tests. So it's also called social compliance test, where she's seeing whether you're going to comply to her, she's seeing whether you're going to persist, she's seeing whether you're going to leave the interaction then and there. उसके बाद एक और भी reason हो सकता है, she wants to set the right boundaries. Now a lot of times when you're talking to a girl and your interaction is too fast, maybe you should throw so much intent, you show a lot of intent, and you're going a little bit too fast for her pace.
So much eye contact, how come? If I was telling you, I can't make so much eye contact.
That is when she would actually want to set those boundaries, and she'll tell you that she has a boyfriend. Now, if you want to know each and everything about boundaries, what kind of boundaries you need to make with your partner, I'll add a video link over here so you can check it out. There's a whole another video for boundaries, but this can also be another reason. Now, another reason is she's generally committed. She generally has a boyfriend. She's dating someone and she's in a committed relationship. Another reason is she's guarding against judgment. Now, this means that maybe you approached her in a way where she feels that people's eyes are on her. And that's why she's avoiding that judgment, and that's why she tells you that she has a boyfriend. अगर ये reason होगा, you can always check her body language. She's gonna nervously look away, and she's not gonna look straight into your eyes. So that means that she's guarding against judgment. Now this happens because your approach is wrong. Another reason can be she's trying to maintain the control of the interaction. Now, when she's trying to maintain the control of the interaction, what this means is she is keeping a frame that this is where the conversation is going to go. I don't want it to go forward from there. Now, how do you figure that out if she's trying to maintain the control of the interaction? She's going to shift the focus away from flirtation to a basic conversation. Another reason which I see most of the time is she's unsure of her feelings. Means that she probably has a boyfriend, but she's not that committed, and she's also attracted towards you, but she doesn't know how to navigate that attraction. So then she'll show you mixed signals. Now, mixed signals means she'll be flirting with you sometimes, and then she will be, not flirting with you and trying to take it to a platonic conversation sometimes. Now, she's using it as a defense mechanism. A lot of women have this defense mechanism against guys who are cold approaching them, that they would just be like, hey, I'm not interested, I have a boyfriend. Especially in clubs, if she's been approached a lot of times, she might be talking to a friend and people are approaching her, and then she might get pissed and she might be like, the next guy who comes, I'm just going to say that I have a boyfriend so that I can avoid that conversation to begin with. Now, this generally happens when she feels pressured, she doesn't feel comfortable in that particular environment, or she's not open to talking to people. This doesn't say much about you, much about your approach, but it's all about her. She's not in the mood of approaching or talking to people. Now, when she's in that zone, she's going to avoid eye contact. She's going to maintain physical distance. She's not going to be looking at you directly. She's not going to be smiling a lot. Also, another reason is that she's trying to keep the interaction light. Now, whenever a woman wants to keep the interaction light, she's going to playfully mention it that, oh, I have a boyfriend. When she mentions this, uska dhyan ja raha hai tumhare confidence mein. She doesn't want to shut you down, but she just wants to say, how are you going to play with it? Are you going to take it seriously? Are you going to have an emotional deviation? Or are you going to be confident and just shrug it off? Another reason can be she is not ready for more yet. Now, a girl can be single, but can also be that she doesn't know you yet. You just approached her. She doesn't know what kind of value you hold. There is no trust. There is no relatability. And she's not ready to get into a deep conversation with you. And because she wants to avoid that deep conversation, that's why she says she has a boyfriend. So these are the only reasons a woman will ever tell you that she has a boyfriend. So you have to calibrate which reason it is, because according to the reason, your responses are going to be decided. So we're going to come to the plan of action. But first, let's talk about how to identify the real reasons. The first thing is pay attention to her body language. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably beginners, but you need to be a little bit more advanced when you're actually trying to figure a person's body language. For this, I would strongly recommend what you need to figure out is how is her body language towards you. Is it an open body language? Is she defensive? Does she want to leave that venue? Now, body language is a whole new video. I think it's a whole new topic for another video. So if you want me to make a video on it, comment down and I'll make sure to make a video on it. This is actually one of the most advanced things that you can learn when it comes to attraction, and this is a real game changer. When I started learning about body language, I became so hyper aware, but you also need to understand that when you're learning about body language, you need to be comfortable with at least approaching. But you can also start learning about body language by doing a lot of people's watching. That's something that I did because I had a club and a restaurant. So back over there, I would just watch CCTV. I would watch all the first dates on that CCTV camera. And because of that, I got extremely good in body language reading. So if you want me to create a video, a complete breakdown video about different sorts of body language when it comes to attraction and female psychology, let me know in the comment section. That's the first thing you need to do. Second thing you need to do is you need to notice her tone. How is her tone coming? Is it fun? Is it firm? Is it playful? Is it uncomfortable? Based on her tone, you can easily identify her level of interest. If her tone conveys discomfort, her level of interest is clearly very low. If her tone is extremely firm, also the level of interest is low. If her tone is teasing, she's just testing your confidence. If her tone is playful, that means there's a high level of interest. So based on the level of interest, you're going to decide how to respond to that. Also, one very important thing I noticed in my journey is you need to evaluate the context. You need to evaluate the environment, because the environment can influence her attitude and her behavior. What I mean is, if you approach her in the office, right, there's 100 people sitting right next to her, and you're like, hey, I just want to tell you, you're sort of cute, I like you. Of course, she's going to say that she has a boyfriend because she's afraid of the judgment of other people. So you also have to figure out, is she feeling judged by others? Is the environment influencing her behavior and what she's saying towards you? Then you need to look for mixed signals. Now, if she's still giving you mixed signals, if she's flirting with you, if she's being hot and cold with you, if she's giving in and then if she's pulling back, that means that she's just testing your confidence. She probably has a boyfriend, but she's not that deeply committed, but she's majorly testing your confidence. And if you pass those confidence and those compliance tests, she's definitely going to get attracted to you. So this is how you identify what reason it is, based on body language, based on noticing her tone, based on evaluating the context, and also looking for mixed signals. Now let's talk about the mindset shift when it comes to talking to girls who say that I have a boyfriend. What kind of mindset shift do you require? Now, what I've seen with most of my clients and most of the people, The moment the girl says, I have a boyfriend, they get defensive, they get offended, and that's not what you need to do. The mindset shift, if you want to tackle this the correct way, is it's only one guy that you're up against. Now you need to understand when you're actually going after a hot girl, there's thousands of guys chasing her. But over here, if she says that she has a boyfriend, you're in luck because it's only one guy. That's the mindset shift that is required. Now I know there's going to be a lot of ethical comments below this video, but guys, this is just for information purposes, and I want you to be well informed. I want you to be well equipped when this situation arises, so you know exactly how to tackle this. Now, from an ethical standpoint, it's completely your wish whether you want to follow this information or not, but this is going to help you. So, first thing is, what is the plan of action? How do you actually handle the boyfriend objection? Now, doing a lot of cold approach, I've gotten this objection so many times, and I realized that this is the only 6 ways that you can actually deal with these objections. And I'm going to discuss 3 different cases as well. And if a girl has ever mentioned to you that she has a boyfriend, you will probably fall in one of these 3 cases. So let's talk about the plan of action. First thing is, do not get offended. Do not get offended. Do not be like, oh, she has a boyfriend. Why does she have a boyfriend? Never show emotional deviation, because you need to protect your emotional sovereignty, which basically means that you cannot show that you're emotionally deviated just because something she said. Because once you show emotional deviation, the girl starts feeling that you're not a competent guy. You're a guy who's giving in on his emotions. And you're being reactive. That's one of the most unattractive traits that you can show to a girl. So do not get offended and do not show emotional deviation at all. Second thing is, use the ball of energy concept. Now, what is the ball of energy concept? Is whatever the girl throws at you, you take it to a fun direction. Now, the ball of energy concept is very simple. You have to maintain a high vibrational energy, which is basically a positive vibe while you're talking to her. Keep her engaged and do not let her boyfriend comment disrupt your commanding presence. Because when she says that she has a boyfriend, you just need to take it to a fun direction, as I did in the video. Now, towards the end, I'm also going to share 5 lines that I use whenever I encounter a girl who says that I have a boyfriend. And these lines actually have a good success rate. They have been tested many times before. All of my clients use them. And once you start using them, you'll see all the difference. Now, once you're using the ball of energy concept, the second thing is avoid talking about her relationship at all. It's very important, guys, because once you start talking about a relationship, you push her mind to a logical direction. She starts thinking about a boyfriend, starts missing him, and probably has a lot more guilt. And guilt and sympathy are 2 of the human's strongest emotions. So avoid this at all costs, because the more guilt she has, the more distant she's gonna get from you. So guilt trip mein nahi dalna usko, and because of that, don't talk about a relationship. Another very old school female psychology rule is always change your mood and not her mind. Do not try to logically convince her why you're the best option. Instead, amp up her mood, give her emotional spikes, make her feel good about herself, make her feel a wide range of emotions, and her mind is gonna shift automatically. But the moment you start logically trying to convince her why you're the best option, you're qualifying for her, she will lose all attraction. Do not show deviation of emotions, as I already mentioned. The moment you get offended, you show a deviation of emotions. Do not be reactive at all costs, because the moment you are reactive, attraction goes down. Do not leave the interaction. A lot of guys, what happens is the moment the girl says, oh, I have a boyfriend, oh, I'm sorry, and they just leave. That's the worst thing you can do. A woman, even if she's just testing you, she wants to see that desire. She wants to see that you genuinely want to know her. Now, with this advice, I also want to say there's a very thin line between persistence and creepiness. You can persist, but if you have neediness, if you need her in your life, if you need positive emotions from her, that comes off to creepiness. So a rule that I have for persistence is I'll approach the girl twice, I'll observe her body language, and if she's not comfortable talking to me, I'll leave that space. So make sure, guys, that you have the consent. Consent is very important when you're doing all of this, because you don't want to land into trouble, plus you don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So let's take 3 cases and what are the best responses according to those cases. Now, if you've ever been told that she has a boyfriend or I have a boyfriend, these are the only 3 cases you're going to fall into. Now, once you understand all these 3 cases, your responses to it, what these cases mean, you will have a better idea what to do next time you're stuck in this kind of a situation. So the first case is, you're in the friend zone. You have a friend, you're talking to her, you're trying to be in a good books, and you really like this girl. That's why you're spending a lot of time with her, you're investing your emotions, your time and your effort, thinking that someday probably we're gonna date. Now this means that you're in the friend zone and you're the nice guy in her life who suddenly shows intent. Now suddenly you're like, hey, listen, I've been thinking about it. Since the past few days, I've been feeling really close to you and I just want to tell you that I like you. Now at this point, what it means is if she tells you now, it's a polite deflection. It's a polite rejection. She's comfortable with your presence, but doesn't see you as a potential long-term partner. That's the sad reality, and some people think that we're going to get out of the friend zone one day. But what it does for you is it affects your mindset, it weakens you as a man. But for women, she would actually want to keep you in the loop. Why not? You're a guy who's chasing her. Drop her if she's been keeping you around without clarity. Respect yourself and step back because you owe it to yourself. The more time and effort you invest in this, the less time and effort you will actually invest in finding a new person where you can actually have a deeper bond and a relationship, and you don't have to deal with all of this shit. The next thing is cold approach. So you approach a girl, you met her in a bar, maybe you met her in the daytime, and you approach her and she's like, I have a boyfriend. Now this generally happens if you met her in a bar, cafe or a street and she drops the line that she has a boyfriend after a few minutes. This can be multiple reasons. Maybe your intent is too strong. Maybe she actually has a boyfriend. Now you have to identify the real reason based on whatever I mentioned. You have to see her tonality, her body language, the context, and based on that, you can see why she's saying that. Now, what it means is mixed signals. She's saying it to test your social command. She's saying it to test your social presence, your confidence, and see if you'll back off too easily. Now, at this point, I generally use the ball of energy concept because it always works in cold approach. And I'm going to give you 5 such lines that you can use today, which is going to change the trajectory of the whole conversation. Now, how do you respond to this? You treat it as a compliance test. Now, if you want to watch a video on compliance testing, I've covered each and every type of compliance test that a girl can give you. I'll add the video over here so you can check it out. Treat it as a compliance test and handle it with confidence and humor. Always make sure that you handle such objections with humor because a confident guy is humorous in such situations. He's not taking it personally. The third case might be that you're in the same social circle. You meet this girl, maybe in an office party, maybe through your friends, and you start flirting with her. You're casually flirting with her and she suddenly brings up that, hey, listen, I have a boyfriend. Now, what it means is this can be tricky, guys, because either this means that she's testing you, she's testing a dominance frame, or either she means that she's setting boundaries. Now, how do you figure this out? You need to understand how to identify the real reason. You need to pay attention to her body language, you need to notice her tone, and you need to evaluate the context. Also, you need to look for mixed signals. Now, if you're a guy who does not have a lot of experience with women, I would suggest not taking it forward because you have your reputation on the line. Depends on your social circle as well. If it's a social circle that you've made through a bar or through a club, then it's all right. If it's a social circle of your colleagues, of your workspace, of your office, then I wouldn't say going forward because one bad move over there can sort of tear down your reputation. You don't want to do that. Now, the response over here completely depends on attraction reciprocity, which means that how attracted is the girl to you? How is she talking to you? How is her body language towards you? Is the girl attracted to you in the first place? If she is, what is her interest level? Based on her interest level, you need to have the same amount or even a little bit lesser interest level because you don't want to lose your reputation over here. Now I want to give you 5 one-liners that you can use when a girl brings this up. So whenever a girl brings this up, you don't have to, show that, oh, you're affected by it or you're shocked or you're surprised. Now what you need to do if a girl says that I have a boyfriend, just tell her, I hope he doesn't beat you up for having this conversation with me. With a smile on your face, you need to have a playful tone, a positive vibe, and look deep into her eyes. Make it a little bit flirtatious, which builds extreme sexual tension. And the second way you can reflect this is, don't worry, I'm just having a conversation. Now this shows that you're not that interested in her, you're not chasing her, you're not attracted to her. This makes the conversation a little bit more platonic than man to woman, but it also just sort of shrugs off her objection. Another line I use in my journey a lot is, oh, that's great, I can be your man friend. Now again, this doesn't make any logical sense, but it's just good to have that humor because it's sort of deviating her objection. Now the best line that has worked for me is whenever a girl says that I have a boyfriend, I just look at her and I'm like, oh, I have a goldfish. And she looks at me, what? And I'm like, just looking at her deep into her eyes, I have a goldfish and a duck. She's like, what are you saying? I thought we were talking about that shit that doesn't matter.